Here we are at a beautiful Chiswick House and Gardens where the 10th Chiswick Book Festival is launching. This evening is all about William Thackeray and his Vanity Fair, so let's go and check it out.
The thing about Thackeray was that he's very much a London novelist. His first school, which was probably the least awful in his view that he was at, was in Chiswick, and he retained a very strong fondness for this part of London.
What is important to you about William Thackeray?
I've lived for the book. I mean, I always think that that literary criticism is conversation with the most intelligent dead people one can talk to. I was introduced to Thackeray quite late in life, when I was about 18. I'd been reading as one does, from infancy onwards. And I was captivated by it, and I did my PhD on him, I edited him. I've edited all the major novels. And I think it's a kind of love, really. It's a sort of, there are writers who, to some extent, you become really sympathetic and congenital with, and I feel that about Thackeray, so it means a lot to me. I mean, my desert island would have that book, Vanity Fair.
And are there any hidden secrets about William Thackeray?
Yeah, he had the most unhappy marriage of any Victorian novelist. His wife went mad after bearing 2 children, tried to kill herself, and he had to lock her up, like Rochester. And that meant he could never have another marriage, because in fact she could never consent to divorce, even if she wanted to divorce him, and she'd lost her mind. And it was that time of life. He was 35 when he wrote his first great novel with his name on it, Vanity Fair.
How did you make it into 7 hours?
Well, do you know what? That wasn't as hard as it might seem. I guess I just picked out my favourite bits, or the bits that meant the most to me. I mean, I love this book, I love every page of it, but there's no denying that at 800 pages it's quite a task. And I just stuck to what I like the best and what seemed to be the most robust things.
So what is the biggest difference between the book and a screenplay?
When you read a book, obviously you see all the characters, you see all the landscapes, you invent them in your own mind, the pictures are better. A screenplay has to make all that happen. I just give you the blueprint, if you like. I give you the architectural drawings to build your building, to knit your jumper. The book itself is a completely all-encompassing experience. Everything is there. Screenplay, it's just a recipe.
Thank you. And what sort of audience is the screenplay going to attract?
Well, the audience for terrestrial television is getting older and it's getting smaller. So one of the reasons for the approach we took with this adaptation was really, I'll come out and say it loud and clear, to try and really attract a younger generation of viewers as well as the usual viewers. Because these are very young people. They're all, the story starts, Becky's only 19 years old. She never gets past 30. They're young people and they're going through all the same difficulties and challenges that young people today do. And I think that if young people come to this show, they'll find a lot to enjoy and a lot to recognise in terms of the of being out there, of making public profile. We all keep saying if Becky were around today, she'd have an Instagram account and she'd be social media-tastic. And I think there's a lot there for a young audience today to identify with.
You play Amelia. Please, could you tell us about the character?
Amelia's sort of driven by loyalty and love and a sort of a perfect vision and idea of what her future will look like. I've heard a few people describe Becky as the head and Amelia as the heart, and I think that's quite nice. She's got a lot of heart,
So what do you most enjoy about this role?
It's definitely, I've never played anyone like Amelia before. I think playing such an incredible character in such an amazing book has been quite an honour for me, because she's described as quite wet in the book and quite weeping, and there's a comical element to that, of course, but with this sort of 7-part sort of gritty drama adaptation of it, I wanted there to be more than just that and make her more of a rounded human being, so that she's got a lot of strength in her, and I hope that comes across.
So are there any characteristics that you and Amelia share?
Yeah, I think we're both really emotional. I think I'm probably as emotional as Amelia Sedley. I cry a lot in this series, but for me, it's always just about here anyway. So I think we're quite loving. I think we're the same, but I don't think I hold on to ideals as much as Amelia does, and it's lovely. And also she's very resilient. I'd like to think that I'm resilient. I think we all are, essentially. So yeah, I think those things. And a love for a good corset.
We're delighted to sponsor local events and local causes in the arts field. We've been going for 5 years now, and we've already sponsored the Chiswick Book Festival generally, and we're thrilled to be a major sponsor this year.
Could you tell me what's important to you about tonight's launch?
Well, first of all, we're thrilled to be in the grounds of Chiswick House, which is a vital part of our community, and in fact we use the picture of Chiswick House as our logo for our art society, and to be celebrating a local author, William Thackeray, who lived in Chiswick and sat part of Vanity Fair in Chiswick itself.
How can people get involved in the Art Society of Chiswick?
We are delighted to welcome new members. We have a website. If you Google the Art Society Chiswick, you will find details of our lectures, how to join, and all the various other activities that we offer to members.
We sponsor quite a few events in Chiswick. This is one of the nice ones. It's lovely to be at Chiswick House. The talks are always very interesting. There's a variety of things that they're about. So we always enjoy coming along. We like to sponsor the events. We like to come down to see what it's all about. A lot of our clients come along to these, so it's just an all-round good thing to do, just to come and say hi to everyone and have an interesting evening. As a result of being here, as a result of sponsoring it and having our banners here and all that kind of thing, people are aware of you, and so hopefully when they then think about having some building work done, that pops into their minds and we get the call. So yeah, it's also nice to be involved in the community that you work within.
What a great launch it was this evening. The Chiswick Book Festival is on until the 17th of September, so please come along. I'm sure you won't be disappointed.